Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It is me, Kadero Hudson, the Millennial Investor 1914. Woo wee! Yes, I am here to deliver that sauce to teach and educate and put you guys on game. It is about to be December. It is about to be the new year in 2024. I am dropping these videos because I am back from my vacation. I had a wonderful birthday. Your boy 35, but look at me. My skin looking real good. I've been drinking water. The waves coming in looking real nice. Let me stop. Smiling. Ah. Okay. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about dividend ETFs versus individual stocks. Okay. Everyone knows or should know that I have multiple portfolios. I have a growth portfolio. I have a uh, in my Roth IRA, it's a mixture of growth and income where I have uh, realty income, my monthly paying dividend, and also have Visa growth and income, and then have a lot of growth assets like Google, Nvidia, AMD, QQQ, which is the Nasdaq, uh, and in my dividend portfolio, in my taxable account, I have a lot of individual stocks, individual dividend paying stocks. And I know for somebody that's just starting out, let's just show real quick. So starting out, uh, as you see right here, I have Apple, AbbVie, Applied Materials, ARCC, Broadcom, EOG, Home Depot. Scrolling through, right? So initially by uh looking at these stocks, a person will see that like, wow, um, like man, Cadero, you have roughly 31 holdings, right? And so I've been investing for the past uh I've been investing for the past 5 or 6 years, and so I've built up to this. So a person starting out by me going over through my videos of dividend growth investing. If you want to create your own dividend growth portfolio, you would not be starting out with 30 dividend stocks. If anything, depending on how much you're starting out with, you probably have no more than 5, right? A argument would be, well, can you I could do this, or can I just invest to dividend ETFs? Do you guys even know of what dividend ETFs to invest into? So you have SCHD, which is a premium staple in the investor community. Everybody pretty much look at a lot of videos, a lot of people portfolios, they have SCHD. One of my favorite investors. They are out of like Ohio. They call the dividend diplomats. It's 2 guys, and one of them, him and his wife, they been investing into like VU, but they also he has like different stocks, and I watched a lot of his videos, but he also invests into VYM. He's one of the only few people I know that invest into VYM, and the holdings in VYM is ExxonMobil, Johnson Johnson. Oh, I didn't know VYM had Broadcom. Wow, it has J.P. Morgan, Procter and Gamble, Home Depot, Chevron, AbbVie, and it costs $105.67. For individuals who are into SCHD, it costs $71.53. And also what's in uh, SCHD is Broadcom as well. So that's interesting. I knew it because I used to have this. I sold it. It has Verizon, Pepsi, AbbVie, Texas Instruments, uh, Amgen, Coca-Cola, Merck, and Home Depot. So out of the 2 ETFs, SCHD is cheaper at $71.53. Uh, VYM is out of the 2. It's more diversified. Um, but also has a lot more like consumer staples and whatnot. And so you can go down those two routes, which a lot of people tend to do. A lot of people they go down that they probably start out with a lot of stocks or invest in stocks, and then a lot of times a lot of people tend to just sell their stocks and just invest into just dividend ETFs. So let's talk about the difference between the dividend ETFs and individuals, and the positive and negatives, and why certain people go down certain routes. So, what are the benefits of dividend ETFs, right? So, as a dividend ETF, dividend ETFs offer a number of attractive characteristics. The majority of dividend ETFs hold between 50 and 100 companies, as we showed. SCHD hold roughly 100. SCHD hold 100 plus. It says purchase shares of most dividend ETFs provide an instant diversification, which is true when you invest into any type of ETF, which is a dividend ETF, a broad market ETF. You are investing a broad. You invest into a basket of stocks, and if one or two or 10 goes down, you have other stocks in the basket that will go up to balance and will help lighten the load on, especially on like red days. And then it says also, perhaps more importantly, dividend ETF investors do not need to worry much about monitoring their holdings, which is also true. A lot of times, a lot of people just buy these dividend ETFs, and then whether it goes up and down, they really don't care. They don't really have to worry about a company canceling its dividend or whatnot, because when you buy an ETF, it's a basket of stocks, and so the fund manager is already going to look at these different funds on an annualized basis, and if a stock is underperforming, they just take it out and replace it with another stock, and you personally don't have to do it. So right here, in other words, no single company is likely to make or break your performance. Boom. So for example, like with GE, with Cisco underperforming, a fund manager will see that, plug it out, and replace it with a better performing stock, and then you as the investor wouldn't even have to worry about it, wouldn't even think about it, because you just invest into the ETF. So it says, simply put, the ETF strategy is much easier to consistently execute and keep an investor, and to maintain more time in the market and enjoy the benefits of compounding. Investing in dividend ETFs can be particularly appealing for small investors. So generally speaking, most of the benefits of the diversification kick in once a portfolio has accumulated at least 15 to 20 total stocks in your portfolio. So this is right here. So for example, an investor with a $10,000 to invest equally across 20 stocks would target an initial value of $500 per holding. But if a person didn't want to do that, they can just invest into a dividend ETF or just an ETF, and then their money will be spread across all of the different stocks in that ETF, and the person wouldn't have to worry about the downsides on anything that's you be able to sleep well at night. So what are the downsides of dividend ETFs? So some dividend ETFs now offer rock bottom fees as low as 0.05%, but the ETF investors have no ability to fine tune a fund of their unique investment. But most common investors really don't care about that. For example, suppose a retired investor has a $1 million of cash to invest and wants to generate safe investment. A well-known ETF like VYM. So okay, yeah. So that is a negative. So with ETFs, it's basically a lot of ETFs have fees. Now, whether it's like 0.05 or 0.01, it's it's less than a lot of fees with a lot of companies, with a lot of funds. But when you invest into single stocks, there's no fee at all, because you own the stock, and basically these fees you're paying the manager to actually to look at these different investments, even on a past basis. I forgot about that. So right here it says, however, there are a few issues they need to be considered. First, the fund's dividend yield is nothing to get overly excited about. True. Second of all, how safe is that income? Whatever. And it says, unfortunately, we can see that funds dividend payments were hit hard during the last recession. So put another way, if a retired investor above owned 25,000 shares of VYM, he would have received 36,000 in 2008, but by 2010, his annual income had fallen to 27,000, a drop of more than $725 compared to if you invest into a like a dividend aristocrat. Dividend aristocrat are stocks who have increased their dividend for more than 25 years. You wouldn't have to worry about, for the most part, things happen, but for the most part, you wouldn't have to worry about your income going away because you are invested into companies that are paid a reliable increase in dividend. And also, one thing about dividend ETFs, as you see right here, even when times are good, the dividend income is very unpredictable. The payouts are very unpredictable on a month to month. So 1 month may, like you see right here, 1 month may be like 58 cents per share. Another month maybe 67. Another month maybe 48. And that's the same way with unfortunately, like those dividend income ETFs like Devo and QYLD, where they pay monthly basis and really good receiving that money on a monthly basis, but they pay on a variable scale. And when you are, it's fine now when you're making money, you have a job, but when you are retired and you're a retiree, you have all this money in these certain assets, and they pay on a variable schedule. It can cause a lot of schedule. It causes a lot of stress and stressful times when you calculate your money. You want it to be consistent or more. So understandable. So right here, but then also says, so building a portfolio of several dozen blue chip dividend stocks requires some time, but it also allows investors to customize the dividend yield, diversification, and dividend safety of the portfolio, which is true. As you become more of an experienced investor, you begin to want to, you know, do research and find excitement. Individuals who don't find any excitement or any pleasure in doing so, they go down the dividend ETF route. But investors like me who have a passion for stocks and doing research and love that compound and see it, you definitely can see your dividend yield, diversification, and the safety of your portfolio increasing within time. Also, positive of just being a single stock investor compared to a dividend investor is that besides greater customization, accumulating a portfolio of individual dividend stocks lets investors keep more of their dividend income, which is true. High risk and high reward. So it is as a high risk as an individual stock investor to invest into a stock and put your money $5,000, $10,000 in one stock. But if you get a good paying stock, it will increase in the value in total return, and also it will increase its dividend by a lot, and you will reach your income goals a lot faster. I'll give you an example: MSCI, uh, Eli Lilly, Home Depot, Lowe's. A lot of these companies are in a lot of growth funds, a lot of VUG, VU, maybe in some income-based funds, right? So you invest into the ETF, you get the exposure. When it's time for those pay increases, it's spread across the ETF as it should. But when you take the high risk as being an individual stockholder, you reap the benefits of when you invest to Lowe's or Eli Lilly or MSCI, receiving the increase of the stock increasing 10-15% on top of also the stock paying you a dividend of probably 1 or 2%, but also increasing its dividend at a 15% clip. Eli Lilly increases dividend 15%. Home Depot increases dividend roughly 10%, and then MSCI increases dividend roughly 20%. And so when you compound that on a longer time scale, 15, 20, 25 years, you will make a lot more money the individual stock route compared to just dividend ETF route. But a lot of times, a lot of people go the dividend ETF route because they don't have the patience, and then also they don't know how to pick stocks. So it's all depends on the person, the person's preference. And then right here it says so for small investors, these fees are also a no brainer to achieve proper diversification. So for investor like me, I invest into these individual stocks, and I don't have to worry about any type of fees paying to a fund manager. But I invest into a ETF index fund for my 401k, and then whatever fees that they take out, they just take out. And then I invest into QQQ in my Roth IRA. But then I also have stocks, the core method, and then also I invest into individual stocks in my dividend stock portfolio, and I don't have to worry about paying any type of fee. And then it shows you right here that I'm not gonna go through how to pick stocks and whatnot, but right here I'm able to just show you quick with individual stocks. I'm able to hit my goal a lot quicker, as you see right here. If I do this, and do this right here, and then maybe 5, you can see right here that let's do 20 years. You see right here within 20 years, and that's honestly that's on the low end. That's just right here. Annual income of $28,698. My individuals. This is my individual stock portfolio. My individual stock portfolio. 48,000 and just organic growth. This is not me going through. This is not even going through exercise of me adding roughly $10,000 per year and me investing to. This is just strictly just taking we just taking my $48,000 dividend growth portfolio and basically just right here, just letting it grow organically. Within 20, 25 years, it would be roughly $365,000 roughly, and then through the compound interest, the yield would be around 7.34%. Have an annual income of 28,000, but it will be a lot higher than that because I invest into a lot of high growth like MSCI, Eli Lilly. I'm going to be investing to Costco next year. I invest to Microsoft and Apple, and with those grow outrageously crazy. And then what I'll do, and what people tend to do, is that people tend to just shave off a lot of the low income stocks and put into more higher income assets. And then so this will go from 28,000 to roughly maybe 32 to 35,000. And then if I want, then from there on, I can sell my house, I can sell some Bitcoin, and then I could just live in a different city. So this one just wanted to show you guys the difference between dividend ETFs and individual stocks, which is the best for you. If you want just a set it and forget it type method, then dividend ETFs are the way to go, either VYM or SCHD, and it's perfectly fine. People tend to do that, and then they'll have less. But then also, if you want to take a hold of your finances and you want to grow your money and grow it fast, then owning individual stocks is the way to go. And if you always ask me questions, I can help you create a dividend portfolio. And also I have videos on how to create dividend portfolio. So I will, on the right side, whatever the right side, I will post a video on how to create a dividend growth portfolio. Click onto it and you learn. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and that's it. Peace.